We're getting close to the edge here. That little bit left. Hopefully I got enough epoxy. I didn't screw it up. All right, just got back from my work trip. Just checking out the cabinets I painted on the last episode. They came out perfect. I'm really, really happy with them. They dried well, and they're gonna be ready for a little bit of touch up, but I'm gonna deal with that later. The first intent is get them out of the garage, probably put them inside the house, and then we're gonna clean out this garage, get it ready for power washing, cleaning the floor. We're gonna do some acid etching. So welcome to the epoxy floor episode. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button down below. If you don't like it, you can go ahead and hit dislike as well. Leave your questions and comments down below. I'll answer those the best I can. We're gonna get going here. Fun-filled day. I power wash in the garage, probably the motorcycle, a few other things that I got a little dirty while we were painting, but other than that, we're gonna get going. All right, check back with you guys later. All right, I am super happy the way these things came out. Color came out perfect the way I did. The finish came out nice and smooth. The color pops really well. I'm really liking it. You guys figured out it's gonna be red, white, and blue background. All right, I'm gonna get this garage cleaned up and we'll get going. All right, let's see how bad this motorcycle is covered up after I've been painting it here. Alright, not good. Lots of dust from the paint. I guess we'll get the power washer out and wash her off. Just got done sweeping out the garage. Now what we're going to do is walk around the garage floor and see how that is. There are some pretty good stains. The oil has been and gone for a while, so it shouldn't take too much to get rid of it. I'm just going to etch the concrete. I've already gone through and degreased it the best I can, and then I'll power wash it as well. So we'll walk around, I'll show you some stuff that needs to be fixed, and we'll kind of go from there. The most important thing is I've been reading the directions. I'm using the Russoline product to get this down. I'll give you the exact stuff down below. I'm using the higher end stuff for the homeowner. I've chosen to do it myself because it was quite expensive, somewhere around $4,000 to $5,000 to have it done. Probably gonna come in around 1/10 of that cost. But I'm gonna show you a walk around the garage here and kind of see what's going on. All right, here we go. Here's the area where I had the garage floor had settled away from the house. I had it looked at the last time I did a bunch of concrete work. I was a new owner of this house and there's some concrete that was gonna settle and that's the way it is. So what we did is I fixed that in with some epoxy. I'm gonna go back through and grind it. You'll watch me do that and smooth it out. Now we got all these grease spots. And I went through and degreased them all. And so I don't see anything. I poured water on them. They don't really seem to be beating up. So they're just stained. And what the directions tell me, as long as we can etch it and get the top layer etched nice and clean, we're going to take care of it that way. It may not be 100% perfect, glass smooth like a brand new floor, but it's definitely going to be guaranteed better than what we got here. So all these areas, we're going to try to clean up this floor or power wash it. First step is to etch it according to the directions, so we're going to get doing that. Here's where we're going to use the etch. Nice, strong scent of muriatic acid here, alright? Directions say 1 pint for every gallon. Also, you're going to make sure you do this in a well-ventilated area. I got the garage door open, I got the windows open. If I'm not starting to feel anything good, I'll start to grab my mask and respirator, but right now I think it's going to be fine. Alright. Foaming up, and that bubbling is a good example that it's etching and doing its job. Alright, the way to test you got the right muriatic acid level versus water is you just throw a little bit of water on a dry piece of concrete. If it starts to bubble up and fizz up, you're doing good. Kind of like that right there. See how it's bubbling up, fizzing and fizzing? There we go. Right level of muriatic acid. Too much, you're going to be doing too much of your concrete. Too little, you're not going to get the etching that you need. All right, what you guys can see there is all the water is flowing away from the back wall of the garage, and it's flowing outside, and it's gonna go outside the garage down the driveway. And that's what you want in a garage, and that's why I have to shim up over there where the cabinets were, is all this water in this slab is designed to flow away from the house. So when I have the nice heated garage at night, all the water is gonna flow out towards the garage door, and then in the morning I just gotta open up the garage door, squeegee that water out, and I'm good. The other thing I haven't talked about is really the dream garage is what you really want. If you're building brand new, you want to heat this floor. Luckily it's insulated well, the house is really insulated so it helps it stay warm, but if I had a heated floor, that'd be even better during the winter to keep it warm in here. I'm going to get back at etching this concrete with acid. I love working with acid. Acid's so fun. You know, the chemical kind, not the drug kind. Acid etched. We're going to let it sit in for a little bit, let it keep etching a little bit away, and then I'm going to get the power washer out and wash out the whole garage, squeegee it all out, get it all cleaned up, and then we'll let it dry. If it's all dry and I've read the directions the way I should have, I'm going to review them again tonight. We're going to put the primer down on the garage floor. We're going to prep it, do some taping around things, and go from there. I'm going to walk you around the garage a little bit, show you what it's doing. I'm kind of excited about what it's doing. If I don't like it after I power wash it, I'm going to do some spot cleaning with the muriatic acid I have left. All right, here we go. As you can see, it's kind of chalked up here, and that's what it's doing. That's eating off the top layer of that concrete, and that's what you really want it to do. So it's all clean. What we're trying to do is get rid of some of those rust spots, some of that grease right there, all that sort of stuff. We'll see how that comes out. We'll have to power wash it and see how it goes. It looks a lot cleaner. We know it's etched. We'll power wash it out and see where it goes. All right, now we're gonna break out the gas power washer. Fun. Special thanks to Dad. He didn't need it anymore, so he sent it my way. Thanks, Dad. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. I worked earlier on my real day job, and now I'm back here working, and I'm gonna call it a day. Work on that balance between life. But before we wrap it up, I'm gonna show you what I did. I'm really happy with the garage floor. The muriatic acid did what it needed to do. All right, I'll walk you around the garage and call it a night. All right, here we go. You can see some of the areas where it's still wet, kind of reflective, but over here it's starting to dry. As you can see, there's not as much. There's a few spots right in here, which is where there's oil stains. I'm gonna see how those look in the morning. I'm also gonna do some research. Surprisingly enough, the hardest thing to get out is where tires were sitting. Either during the winter or I don't know what they were doing. They were sitting. So a lot of these oil stains over here came clean. I'm really happy that the paint that I got all over the floor. I haven't decided if it was worth it to just let the paint go wild and power wash it off or mask it off. I think it was less time to just power wash it off. It was quicker for me to do that. And then it also made the paint run all the way down to the floor. That way I don't have to worry about it. I'll prime up to that, and then we'll paint the coating of the garage epoxy floor up to that as well. So there you go. Garage floor is looking super clean. I'm really happy. There's all that paint and all that other stuff that I got come up. There are a few flakes there that couldn't get up, but the rest of it came really clean. A little splotchy, so we'll see how it dries in the morning. We'll get back at it. All right, good morning. Day 2 of the epoxy build. What we're gonna do this morning is walk around the garage, kind of inspect what I found. I've been out here looking at it already. I kind of cut up the plan that I want to do, but I'll share that with you guys. I'm hoping that the weather will help me let the garage dry fairly quickly. I'm only gonna do some parts of it. I'm not doing all of the garage, but if that doesn't dry quick enough, I'm gonna have to wait for the epoxy to go down. Don't worry, it'll be the same episode. It'll just take me 3 days to do it, and I'll get it done after my work trip. Alrighty. I think the lighting's a little challenging in here, but you can see that how the floor came out. There's some spots still. These actually look darker in the camera than they actually are. But then there are areas like this that I kind of want to maybe clean up a little of those spots, but I'm actually touching this floor and it feels etched like it should. And that makes me very encouraged that that's what we wanted for our floor. And really what I want to do is work on these spots right here. One more chance, I'm going to put some etching on it. And then there's also these spots right here and here that I didn't get, right in this area here. I didn't get those last night, probably a little bit because of lighting, a little bit because there was a lot of water on the floor and I just didn't see it. And maybe, in all honesty, I finished too quickly and I didn't get it quite done the way I wanted to. From everything I read, is that you really want to take your time with this. Don't get in a rush with it and prep the floor very well. Now I feel the floor is very clean and etched, but I want to do one more double check. That way I'm not thinking 2 months down the road if something starts to peel up, I wish that I'd done it a little bit more or something different. As you can see, there's a few spots in the garage. They actually look worse. Little spots like this look worse than they actually are. But that's where I got pretty aggressive with the power washer in some spots, and some spots I didn't. I'm not sure I'm going to worry about those too much as I am going to worry about these there. I'm going to etch all the greasy spots again a second time. Alrighty, walked around the garage. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work and sand down these rough areas on that epoxy patch that I did and put another one down and let that cure for most of the morning while I power wash the floor. Check back with you later. Alright guys, got all the sanding done. I'm not going for perfection here, I'm just going to fill in some nice smooth lines here. It's a garage still, but I'm going to try to work the best I can. Got one more layer of epoxy to go on. Those of you who didn't see it on my previous episode, you guys can go back and watch that, or actually I'm going to repeat it this time. Basically it's a two-part epoxy that you mix together and spread it on, and you want to get it as thin and smooth as you can the first time because it dries pretty hard. As you saw, I was sanding on it, and that was with 100 grit sandpaper to get it to smooth out. So take your time, do your best about making it smooth, and go from there. All right, we're gonna get back to doing the epoxy, and I'll show you how that goes. We'll walk you through it. Okay, this is what I'm using. This is the Russoline concrete patch and repair for concrete coating. It's a two-part epoxy. You got part A, and you also got part B right here. Mix the two together in equal parts, equivalent, and then what you want to do is mix it thoroughly and then we'll spread it out. I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. What you do is fill these in. It gets super hard. It's paintable within 8 hours. So what we're going to do is get this on right away. That way I can get painting this afternoon. There you go. That was a huge crack and huge hole. One of the previous episodes, you can see how big that was. Same thing with this here. This is a pretty large crack along the back side of the wall here where the concrete collapsed and separated a little bit. I had it inspected and I was pretty sure it wasn't going to settle anymore. So I filled it in with the epoxy filler. I gotta tell you, that epoxy filler is kind of a challenge, if not a pain, to smooth out. So I'm going to have to probably come back a little bit with the sander and smooth out some of the edges, but I'm overall happy with it. You know, in reality, my motorcycle's probably going to park sitting right on top of it, and I will never see it. It won't bother me. either case, it's still gonna be epoxy floor on top. There's another spot there. And you can see there's a few little pinholes. I started chasing those down and realized, you know, I can be here all day and I don't really want to do that. So I stopped chasing them down. These are some of the major holes that I found. There's one there, and then there's one there. So what we're going to do is we're going to start fixing up some of these oil stains. We're going to take some radic acid at each spot of these stains and then work on those. All right, I'm going to get back at it. Check back with you later. All right. Got the epoxy patch done. We're gonna work on some acid etching of the remaining oil stains that are in the garage, and then we'll also do some taping off around the garage to prep for the painting. Now, I didn't talk about costs. So far, I got a couple bucks into some gallon of gas. I got about $4, $5 in the sporadic acid. Also, I think there was like $20, actually it was $40 for that epoxy patch. So, what's that? Math in public's not that good suit. So we got 50 bucks so far into this for prepping. I just did the math last night, and we're gonna be somewhere around $300 to $400 for the paint. I'll give you an update later, but just wanted to give you an idea that these aren't really high cost projects. They're high labor projects, but you know, what else are you doing in your time? Facebook doesn't need you out there. You have to go out and work on your garage. All right. We're going to call that good. Where'd it go? I don't know where that roll of blue tape went. I set it down and it rolled away. It's probably with a 10mm socket somewhere. You guys see it? Let me know. Okay, I'm super excited. The garage floor is nice and clean. I got it swept out. I got the tape in the right position. All right, I got all the edges taped off. Super excited. The floor is nice and dry. It's super clean. I'm gonna call it good and I'm gonna put some paint on there. We're gonna go with Russoline rock solid garage coating here. So everything I read is that you need twice the amount of paint that they tell you you need. So according to this, their directions, 1 box is all I need. Well, you can see I got 2.5. We'll see what I need. I'm gonna put it on thick. We'll see how far I get with it and hopefully I finish it. If not, I will have to run back to the store to get more, or I'll have to do it later. All right, let's see what's in one of these boxes. All right, we have the paint, part A, and then part B. They're mixed together. We got 2 of these, and we also have 2 of the chips. And then we also have this is a concentrated cleaner, what is their boracic acid. I chose to use my own, so I'm not going to use that. And then they have these rollers in here. I was told not to use these rollers. I saw a bunch of times on YouTube where these things broke apart. So I had a roller for smooth surfaces, and I'm going to go with that one. It's a little higher end, so I don't have to worry about it. The complaint was that these things broke up and left little pieces inside the paint. I don't want to deal with that today. I really don't. So I'm going to leave them behind. We're going to go with the paint chips, and we're going to go from there. I'm going to leave one of these paint chips or paints in the sun, let it warm up. Another chip there, and then we'll use these chips over here. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to read the directions one more time, make sure I'm not doing anything stupid. But I'm pretty sure I'm ready to go. Just stick it down. We'll cut in all the edges over there and go for it. All right. I read the directions. It looks like I did everything correctly. Now let's see if I can put it down correctly and not screw this up. All right, directions say mix up the individual pouches, and then we're going to squeeze them together and then mix them again. It says shake for 2 minutes. Okay, here we go. and then we'll put the sprinkles down. All right, I'm winging it here. We're just trying to figure this out. Okay, that's the first bag, and as you can see, it's about a quarter, maybe a little bit less, so I'm really glad I got extra. All right, so you guys can get an idea what it is. That's one bag, and that's supposed to cover, the two bags are supposed to cover 500 square feet. So theoretically, one bag is supposed to cover 250 square feet. It barely covered, it didn't cover a quarter of it, which I'm really glad I got that extra box. All right, time to throw the sprinkles. All right, we're one bag in on this quarter, and it's not even close to being done. So I'm either putting it on too thick or there's not enough. Probably a combination of both, but I'm really glad I got that last box. All the users online, as well as all the recommendations and reviews on this Russoline product, said that it didn't cover like it should. Theoretically, I only needed one box. So far, if you look around here, I'm 3/4 of the way done. Well, maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe a little bit more than 3/4 of the way done. But 3/4 of the way done, let's call it that. I used 2 boxes so far. Luckily, I got the one box for one garage. I got that one left. If there's anything left over, I might put it on that step over there. All right, I'm gonna put it a little bit heavier over in this quarter because this is where I'm gonna do most of my working. If you guys heard, there's a little bit of secret there, but anyways, that's where I'm gonna do a lot of my working at. I'm gonna put it on heavy. I did really heavy over there using 2 boxes, so I might as well use one last box here. So we'll get it going. We only have a little bit left to go, and honestly, it hasn't taken that much time. It's only been right about an hour and a half. So it's been going on pretty easy. I haven't been rushing, taking my time. You guys have been seeing how I do it. Just generally sprinkling, not to corner yourself in. There's one spot that I got pretty far out that I could barely reach. And I'm not sure if I got the coverage okay, but this is the way it's gonna be. All right, we're gonna get back to it. I've seen where I've gotten some chips too far towards the edge and then I've had to roll over them. It doesn't seem like it's had to hurt, it doesn't hurt things too much. So don't worry about that. And also what I've been doing is taking my time, and it shows some areas that the holes are there, or I kind of take my time to fill those in. And they end up as like little holes or black spots. And I just been rolling through it, a little bit extra epoxy over those areas. The key is not to get too far away from the edge. I found that sometimes it's really hard to throw those flakes. I'm pretty tall with pretty long arms, ape arms, and I'm having a hard time sometimes getting out there to the edge, so make shorter stretches if you got shorter arms as well. But so far, I'm really, really happy with this product. It's covered really well. The only thing I don't like about it is it doesn't cover as advertised, and it's going to cost a lot more, but you know, I kind of did my research and knew that and budgeted accordingly. We'll go over costs later. It's embarrassing to end up really short. Alrighty, we're getting close to the edge here. That little bit left. Hopefully I got enough epoxy, I didn't screw it up. Alright, Badger Nation. Here we go. I'm all complete. Got the epoxy floor in. It took me about 2.5 hours with all the rolling in, the cutting in, and the spreading the flakes. And that doesn't include the masking off though. But I'm super excited about how this stuff went down. I'm gonna let it cure. I get to go on a work trip for the next 3 days, and I couldn't be happier about it because I'm gonna let it cure. The temperature here in Iowa is supposed to be in the 70s during the day, and it's gonna get cool at night, but you know what? This thing's got 3 days to harden and I don't have to worry about touching it, scratching it, or doing anything like that. It's one thing I've been wanting to do and wanting to have is a garage, epoxy garage, and I got it. All right, so in total, I'm gonna have to go back and look at it, but I would say it took me 2 hours to put the stuff down today. I spent another 2 hours of cleaning up and doing muriatic acid today and vacuuming and stuff like that. So, you know, you're talking 4 hours today, and it probably took me 4 or 5 hours yesterday. So you're talking a good 9-10 hours realistically all to get it all said and done. With that said, I'm kind of tired right now, so I'm gonna go find some adult sodas, some food, and for you, in the next few seconds, you'll get to see that wrap up. If you like what you saw with this epoxy floor, hit the like button below, hit the subscribe button. I couldn't be happier for all the support you guys have provided me, all the wonderful likes and comments, etc. What's next is all this floor is hardened. You saw me finish up those cabinets. We're gonna put those cabinets in, get those hung up, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button below, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.